The third letter is this, B. B, build a reserve. Build a reserve. Rainy days are going to happen. Let's face it. Rainy days hit us all, right? You're sitting in your living room. One day, your daughter has been out on the swing in the backyard playing. She comes in. Look, Mommy, I just chipped my tooth when I fell out of the swing. Guess what? That's a $200 or $300 rainy day at the dentist office, right? Your son comes home from soccer practice. He just has broken his arm. You're off to the hospital, and that is a several $100 rainy day. You wake up, you turn on the hot water, and suddenly it isn't working, so you've got to call a builder to come over and install a new hot water heater. Guess what? That is a several $100 rainy day. You go out to your car, you turn it on, but it doesn't start because the alternator has died. That is a several $100 rainy day. You see, here's the thing. 75% of Americans right now are living paycheck to paycheck. 75% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. That means this. Most people are pretty good about paying the rent or paying the house payment, paying the car payment, paying the basics. But you throw in one unexpected item, and guess what? It sends many people into a spiral of debt. You see, they budgeted for the regular things, but when the unexpected happens, they're not prepared for that. You see, the only way that you and I will be prepared is if we begin to build up a reserve. We've got to build up a reserve. A couple of months ago, Melissa and I, we went to the mailbox, got out the mail. We got 4 doctor bills in 1 week. I'd been in the hospital 2 times in a week, which is not fun. One time was because of something blew up on me, and the other time was because I was having some ulcers or something like that. But what the insurance did not pay, that I had to pay that week, $3,500. $3,500. And when they send you the bill, guess what it says at the bottom? It says, please indicate form of payment. Visa, American Express, MasterCard. I looked at Melissa and I said, write a check. Write a check. You see, the way that we were able to do that was because we had built up a reserve. We try to keep between 6 months and a year's worth of reserves and savings. And some of you are sitting there thinking, well, you must make a bunch of money to be able to do that. No, I don't. I've been in ministry for 15 years. 12 of those 15 years, I've made less than $39,000 a year. So I believe that if I can build up a reserve in our life, I believe that everyone in this room can too. It may take some lifestyle changes. You know what? You may have to start to downsize. Maybe you don't need that car. Maybe you don't need that super huge cell phone plan. You may have to make some changes. One of the best ways that you can start building up a reserve, if you have zero in reserves right now, is you can look around and begin to sell stuff. Because right now in your house, I imagine you've probably got, like me, you've got junk drawers where you just stuff all kind of stuff in there, and like you don't even know what's in there except once a year when you're looking for the one stuff that you need and you can't find it because of the other stuff. You've got stuff that you've bought to impress people that you didn't know that you're not even using. Guess what? You can sell that because this morning, as we speak, there are millions of Americans, millions of people around the world who are sitting at home with no life other than stare at a computer screen and get on eBay, and they are looking for the junk that you've got in your drawers. Oh, that didn't sound right. They are looking. I didn't say that in first service. I won't say that in the third service. They are looking for the stuff that you've got in your attic. The stuff that you've got in your attic. They will pay you money for. They would be excited to have your junk. Some of you may even be renting buildings, and you're paying money to store the stuff that you don't need. That would be an awesome way to begin to build up your reserves. Have yard sales. Have yard sales. Right after we got that bill for $3,400, it took a hit on our reserves. So I went out and I sold some stuff on eBay. I had a yard sale, and we built that back up. Maybe a lifestyle change is in order. Something that I did about 3 months ago that is going to save our family $500 a year. And it's simple. And some of you are going to say, well, that's stupid. It's simple. I used to go at McDonald's or Burger King and stuff like that, and I would order a large Coke. I was sitting in Burger King one day, and I thought, wait a second. Why am I ordering a large? Because it's 50 cents more, and you get free refills. So I started ordering smalls. If you've got a family of 4 and you eat at a fast food restaurant 4 or 5 times a week, guess what? That's $10 a week. That's $520 a year that you can begin to save in your reserve fund, all by downsizing. Now, I'm about to hit some people hard right here. You know, Maybe you need to consider what you're drinking. Maybe you could cut back on some of the $5 Frappuccino lattes. But I wouldn't look cool. I wouldn't look like a rock star because I wouldn't have the styrofoam cup with the little brown label around it when I walk into the office so everyone can know how much I spent on my coffee that morning. Are you going to continue to spend money that you don't have to buy stuff that you don't need to impress people that you don't know? Begin to look around. One of the things that I did that began to save me money was this. I cut back on my cell phone plan. I did. I cut back. I had 3,000 hours. 3,000 minutes. 3,000 minutes. That's a bunch. It was glued to my ear. 3,000 minutes. I cut that back. I saved $60 a month. Now, I told the people at our church, I said, if I call you after 9 o'clock, just know that I'm saving money because that's my free time to talk. I promise I'll call before 10. But that's what I told them because that was one of those things that allowed us to begin to save money. I began to look at our cable bill. I mean, if you don't have any money in reserves, look, do you really need 452 channels in HD? That right there could save you $60, $70 a month if you cut back on some of that. There are ways that you can begin to save. Because just like that verse we looked like, it said that the plans of the diligent. You see, if you and I are going to begin to crawl out of this thing called debt, the thing that we've got to understand is we've got to plan for it. And the way that we begin to plan for that is we begin to build up that reserve. That way, when those rainy days happen, guess what? We write a check, we pay cash for it.